Hi, everybody. I'm back with the beautiful Cinnamon, and we are going to be listening to her amazing story on how, how much her health has improved. And I know that it's improved a lot. So, Cin's a solo mum of two beautiful boys, and she was pretty unwell when she started on this incredible program. So, I'm just going to pass it on over to her. I love Cin, and I love your story. Tell me a little bit about what your health looked like before you started on our program, honey.
Well, I'm just going to say, first of all, love is mutual. How could I not love somebody who shared this program with me and changed my life? So, wow, where do I start? I think I probably start with hideous depression. So my youngest son is now 5.5. Around the time that I got pregnant with him, things really started to flip. And looking back on it, and even at the time, I was sure a lot of it had to do with nutrition. I wasn't really in a place where I could afford to feed myself the way that I thought I really needed. And even if I had had the finances, there's not really the right availability of things to like maintain really amazing. Depression was kind of a sneaky thing where it started little by little, and it just kind of it turned into a really big storm cloud. Another thing, I'd had depression on and off throughout my life, but another thing that really crept up on me that I'd never had before and I'd never experienced was anxiety. I'm by nature not an overthinker. I don't tend to worry about lots of stuff. So the fact that I was getting like heart palpitations and dizziness and all this kind of stuff, I really didn't understand. For quite a while there, I actually thought I was having heart attacks. I know it's not a laughing matter, but looking back on it, I'm just like astounded that I didn't realize what was going on a bit sooner. But also been breakups and whatnot, which left me pretty much financially crippled. I wasn't actually able to really nourish myself at all. I was really eating pretty bad, and I knew it. There was a lot of times that I was also just not eating at all because of my financial state. I would prefer to feed my kids over myself. My skin was getting terrible, my hair was getting terrible, and I'd had allergies since I was 30 that were just increasing. After going to the doctors, on and off for years and years and years, being put on antidepressants and being put on sleep drugs and then being put on antihistamines as well, nothing was really working. If I overdosed myself on antihistamines, I'm a couple of days of relief, but then my body would catch up and all the allergies would come back. Now, my allergies were dust mite and mold based, so they weren't seasonal, they were all year round. So there was kind of not a time where my face wasn't itchy and dripping and my eyes weren't watering and red, and I was just sneezing constantly to the point where I was sort of getting sore throats all the time. It was a really horrible place to be. The anxiety was crippling. I was almost unable to kind of leave the house. Yeah, and life had just really spun a long way out of control.
So I mean, that's awful. I can relate to a lot of that as a mum. I get that. And for you, how long has it been now? Has it been, nearly a year since you've been on the products?
It's actually been just over a year. I had my 1 year anniversary a couple of weeks back. So, 1 year on.
Yeah. And, as a mum, I know that, I would do the same thing, feed your kids before you feed yourself, right? And, but that means that you're missing out on a lot of nutrients that your body really needed, right? Because mum has to be healthy so that she can be a good mum for her kids. mum has to feel great so that she can be a great mum, right? I get all that. So, because of our incredible program also offers a child-free product, so I know that this was something that you really wanted for your children, right? So tell us about how this program and having that free product for your children, how has it really helped to improve yours and your children's lives?
Well, a little recap. So the week or so before I joined up with the program, there was actually a day in my lounge, and I couldn't actually get to the end of vacuuming one room without feeling physically like I was just going to fall asleep on my feet. I was so exhausted. 4 days into taking this product, I couldn't sit down. I pretty much had no need for sleep. My energy levels were just through the roof. I felt a calmness and a mental clarity that I hadn't felt in probably 7 or 8 years. There was just so much more ability to be calm, ability to deal with normal daily things. So one of the major things that my youngest always suffered from was earaches and kind of green problems. My oldest had really bad psoriasis and kind of discoloration and mostly around his from sort of gluten and sugar and things like that. So giving myself product was kind of a double whammy, where I knew that there was this free product for my kids, and it was almost like we kind of took ourselves out of being allowed special things, like I'd talked myself out of having haircuts that other people did that I paid for. I talked myself out of having coffees out. I talked myself out of takeaways and all these things that cost money that I felt were unnecessary. And when I looked at this free child product, I realized that that was so necessary, and the only way I could actually get that was to get things for myself. So it was kind of like a really good way to balance it out in my mind and my heart of what was important. So for me, having those things as an extra were amazing. My youngest son pretty much has had no ear infections since we've been on Juice Plus. He's had a couple of mild cases of his gland swelling, but really no fever, no other illness or sickness associated with that, which for me, they were huge. That was a huge, massive change in his life. My oldest son definitely got a buttload more energy. He actually was like awake before his alarm. He was kind of helping me around the house and being real, I don't know, motivated to help, around the house do boring stuff, which is not like most teens. And then, of course, my depression was lifting pretty quickly. My anxiety was gone probably within the first month. I haven't had another anxiety attack since. And for me, like just those things, I know they're only small in the grand scheme, but just not being tearful, not feeling broken by normal everyday things, not feeling like vacuuming's too hard, or like the shopping's daunting, or like going out of the house and talking to people would literally crush me. Also knowing that I wasn't going to have these late nights of a vomiting child with earaches who was inconsolable. Having a teenager who could focus and be helpful, that was all amazing. His face cleared up really quickly. I think it was probably about 3 weeks for my oldest for his psoriasis and discoloration to go. Definitely the cravings in all of us changed massively. I used to brew kombucha, which I still totally believe in and love, and my kids used to drink it by the litre. Almost a week into Juice Plus, neither of them were really asking for kombucha anymore. You know, that flavored fizz drink thing had gone. They were just drinking liters and liters of water. And they were really happy to just have fruits and vegetables as, you know, the pantry snacks instead of, you know, being upset that mum doesn't buy chips.
Yay. So we love that. It's great. It's fantastic. I love that. I love how much it's impacted on your family, you know, and I know for you, you know, I just remember seeing stories of, you know, Loki, your youngest son, helping you with the meals and getting excited for the veggies that he was eating on his plate. And, you know, I love that too. That was great. So, you know, going forward as a mum, I bet that's really exciting knowing that you're actually improving both your kids' health like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Going forward, I have this kind of renewed sense of confidence in myself as a mum, that I know how to make the right choices. Also, having the program online is amazing, because anytime I'm a little bit brain fuzz, or, you know, at a loss for what to make for dinner, or, you know, what to put in the lunch boxes, anything like that, the program's amazing. I can just flick in online and find some amazing recipes that my kids absolutely love, and does feel like a treat for them. I am a trained chef as well, so, you know, having recipes wasn't always something that I felt I needed, but it's amazing how much I can kind of get the kids to do as well, that is aside from me with these recipes. That's something I really loved. My teen, when I first jumped onto the program, he just spent hours and hours and hours flicking through all of the recipes and looking at all the things he could have, which was really amazing. I also, moving forward, am really proud and happy to share my journey, because I know it's impacting other people. I've got a few people on my team it's definitely impacted. My niece, for instance, was really struggling. And when my sister saw what I was up to, and kind of picked my brains a bit about it, because she's quite a skeptic, and finally got herself on it and started feeding them to her daughter, who's had, you know, a really complex health gut issues for a really long time. Just seeing the changes in them as well, knowing that I'm impacting other people, is just, it's beyond exciting. Recently, my younger sister has actually joined up with the program as well, and she's getting her partner and both of their kids on it, and that is all just from sharing my story. It makes me so happy and proud to know that sharing my story inspires others and gives others the hope that they can actually do this, and it's actually really easy, and actually, you know, it's so user friendly and it's so supportive. The program has so many different sort of facets to it. It's mind, body and soul, not just one. And it's really an amazing little community of people online as well that like to share, you know, their stories and their recipes and where they're at, and it really is something that makes you feel part of a really important community.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Sin. It's lovely to hear your story.
My pleasure, honey.